Good afternoon. Little more louder. Vanakkam. So it's an honor and privilege to be with you, especially the students. Thank you, Brother Shankar, for the opportunity to talk, ma'am, and all the staffs I interacted with. You have a brilliant set of people who are running the institutions, and the founder had a very great vision where it is shaping up into much larger opportunity, right? So you have this wonderful campus, you have wonderful, probably the curriculum and environment, everything. What you can do is like what Amit was telling. The future is in your hands. When you talk about future is in your hands, we are living in unprecedented times, right? Tamil Englishலையும் பேசலாமா இல்ல or we have a diverse audience? Who doesn't know Tamil here? Can you lift your hand? Okay, I'll try and manage both because I want to connect with the students. The slide says career in a shifting global landscape, right? But you start, I want to tell about my journey, how I shifted my career and how I think about opportunities in the world. Is that okay to start with that? Even if you tell no, I will still tell it. So that's the thing. So I graduated from AC Tech Karakudi, 1994. I was best in my class. I scored all A's. That is a lie. Okay? I was not the best student. I tried to graduate. I didn't have an arrear. I graduated in first class every time. First class is 60% and above. So you can see how brilliant I am when I started my engineering school. From there, but I was college cricket team captain. So I managed both studies and cricket, right? I was a state under 16 player for cricket, played men's cricket. And then I had to balance between education and what I'm passionate about, both, right? I was also MK University player. We had 200 institutions, out of which you got to get selected to be university player to represent all Indian universities. And then 1994, there was not much IT jobs at that time, right? IT started coming in around 93, not much of campus recruitment. But we had an opportunity to compete nationally to get enrolled in Indian Air Force or Armed Forces. Naturally, I got into the SSB, got selected out of 150 candidates, 2 or 3 get selected in there. I became a commissioned officer in the Indian Air Force. First posting was in Assam, Wolf Operations. So you should know, it's what you're seeing here is a journey I started, one step at a time. First posting was in Assam, Wolf Operations, where I met my lovely wife, and she was also an Air Force officer. Her brother is here, Group Captain Selvin is an Air Force officer. If you can lift your hand, give him a good hand for serving the nation. And he just finished the war. He retired just after this war, just recently. And they launched all the BrahMos missile into Pakistan. So one more good hand for the armed forces of India, right? So there I met my wife. Then we got posted to Jammu Kashmir. 3 years in Jammu Kashmir, where I was very honored to be part of Kargil operations. Yeah, how many people know there was something called Kargil happened? Okay, good. When I talked to another engineering college yesterday, Amit and I, not many people knew there was a war happened like Kargil. We had a parliament attack, and then we were deployed for 1.5 years in the trenches. So what you are living in terms of life is fantastic in your parents' wealth, right? But there will come a time that you have to fight it out. and there will come a time resilience and perseverance will be asked out of you. So be prepared for that. That's one point I want to make. The journey is not going to be all bed of roses to start with. You have to choose your passion, your career, and be prepared to excel in that career. That is one thing. Jammu Kashmir operations, Ops Vijay, Kargil. Then they posted me to Hyderabad. Hyderabad, I ran the largest IT center for the Indian Air Force. Is it interesting to hear? Okay, because if it's boring, I can go to technical stuff. Okay, so Hyderabad. Then I decided that my calling is different. Okay, so think about how I did it and what I did. Sometimes at certain stage in your career, your calling will be different. You will realize that. You will continue to strive forward with something better and more challenging. Nothing is more challenging than fighting a war, in my mind. And at Hyderabad, I decided I have to realize my potential globally. Okay? So I decided to quit my Air Force job. So I want you to just think about it. Commissioned officer, being a commissioned officer in the Air Force is a big honor and privilege, number one. Number two, it gives you lifelong pension. Okay? Lifelong pension, you are a privileged guy and you have servants, you have orderlies, you have 300 men that work for you. So you are now trying to leave. So I have made a decision to leave. And the only person that supported was, if you don't mistake me, was my wife, and the other person was my mom. Because such a wonderful people they are. They believed in what I can achieve. They believed in my thoughts, that I put it this way. Because you don't know what you're going to achieve. Same thing will happen to you. Your family will continue to trust and believe. Your professors and your mentors will continue to believe in you. But not many would agree with the decisions you take in your life all the time. But you don't have to get concurrence from everybody if you have the conviction that you can do better, right? So I left Air Force, went on to do my B school. All right, from a person who's getting a plush salary, perks and privileges. Now I go and join one of the top schools. I wrote my GMAT and joined the top school as a student like you, right? At the age of 33. So again, I want you guys to pause and reflect. This is a conviction that will drive you and your success in life, nothing else, right? I have to go to school every day, start learning. I forgot what is syllabus, what is everything. The last 10 years I was in the Air Force. So I have to reinvent myself. Right, I did that, got into, finished my MBA, and then my wife joined from the Air Force. So we built our life all over again. And I wouldn't have asked for anything better than that. Because that is how life should be. If life is easy and challenging, you don't leave a mark. You generally don't leave a mark. So it doesn't mean that you have to have a hard life, but these are ups and downs in life you should handle. But your vision should be one thing. What is going to happen in future? Where are you positioned in terms of opportunities? What can you learn to be better, right? So from there, the rest is history. And never look back. If you go and look at my LinkedIn profile, probably I have achieved some 15-20 certifications. Engineer by trade, Masters in Aeronautical Engineering, MBA, then all the certifications for AI, project management, everything. So life is all about learning. So you got to be very, very clear. Learning, education and learning doesn't stop, right? Just because you are graduated from here doesn't mean that you are a learned person. Smartness and being aware of the world, what is happening, will happen only when you continue to engage in continuous learning, and learning doesn't stop till the last day of your life. right? And people, like, you look at, I was amazed by your founder's vision and the number of things he has done, and so kind of being led by Mr. Shankar and team. This is what it is. You see a vision, you create an opportunity, you progress, you achieve it, then go and do something else or continue to build and scale on that, right? So you have to start thinking about what you can achieve by being a continuous learner through and throughout your life. That's also an important thing. After 20 years, when life was going so good, and this is the most critical phase of my life, I lost my wife, right? I lost my wife 2.5 years before with two boys. The reason I am telling this thing is, again, you might think, oh, there's some person, people, when they achieve heights, they have everything wrapped up and given to them, right? Selvin lost his sister, and I lost my wife to a disease that we didn't even anticipate. So you have to pause and think. The human resilience is not in giving up and then getting defeated by something. But now my mission is very simple, that if somebody can find a drug for cancer, right, I want to support that. And I'm putting my heart and soul in educating children where the opportunities are and how comfortable you guys are in a world that is changing minute by minute, right? So you have to understand the world doesn't wait. Competition doesn't wait for you to be perfect. Perfection is not the solution for anything. So we are all flawed people. You know, imperfection is a part and parcel of us, you should know. But with that imperfections, we carry forward with a vision that we can achieve. If you can make, Amit made a opening statement. What did he tell? You are the future leaders, right? Do you guys believe in it? I don't hear anything. Okay, you have to start believing in it. Like somebody in US, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Satya Nadella, or anybody else in US, they are also part and parcel. They were once like you, right? But they were curious to learn. They never gave up. These are benchmark. But we also have Abdul Kalam's, right? We also have your own founder, right? You have to see. It's not that I'm talking about how much I have achieved or anything, but it's a path, that a journey I have come through, right? And what I want to warn you guys is one thing. This generation, especially you guys, are living in an unprecedented times. Unprecedented in the sense, we have not seen changes this profound. I have not seen changes this profound last 45 years. The changes are happening pretty fast. So if I can just run through this a little bit, you have to start thinking, right? How AI is transforming. It's not about engineering anymore. How many students are non-engineering students here? I'm very happy and glad that you guys attended, because AI is not engineering specific. Only in India we hire engineers in the IT sector with an engineering degree. In North America, in any other part of the world, you don't need an engineering degree to be an IT architect. You don't need an engineering degree to be an AI architect. What is happening is AI is impacting every single domain. So if you are doing agriculture, whatever you are doing, you should think about managing, how do I implement and take AI to get a better yield for the farmers? How do I do a water management? How do I plant for a better crop, right? And to plant at the right time at the right stage. And how do I use drone? So remember, it doesn't matter whether you know AI as a foundational technology or not. It matters whether you understand Agriculture is not going to be the same last year. Agriculture is going to be very different this year. But if you are in some other discipline, think about inventory, supply chain. How do we optimize supply chain? There's a huge need for public infrastructure management. And also, if you are even in a language arts, I just talk to your professors and deans and leads that I have been passionate about extracting Tamil inscriptions from the temple and creating a language model so everybody can learn, use their mobile phone and learn the ancient history, starting with Kiladi, right, to current history, how wonderfully as a culture we have progressed, how ancient we are. You know, we talk about women's empowerment, and we talk about being empowered entrepreneur and everything. We have all seen it. The Tamil culture has been doing it for last 2500 years. So if you are in language, think through that, right? If you are in engineering, start thinking about how can I design a better engines, aero engines, or even in a better electric vehicle. So there is autonomous driving. So you need to have, every single person need to have a project in AI. But if you are looking for opportunities and if you want companies to come and hire you and take a look at your resume, they will only see one thing in coming days. And mark my words, there's going to be disruption in the way people are going to hire. Infosys, Wipro, Accenture, Cognizant, or any services company. More and more product companies will start hiring. For the product company, you need to have a domain-specific capabilities. Okay, I'm not going to run through this slide because I can't even see it, but I will just talk through this very clearly. So you need to be very good in. Every single person should be very good in doing one AI project. One is minimum, right? You need to start thinking about AI projects. You need to run it, put it in your resume, and then if you should think about multi-agentic, you should think about RAG, fine-tuning for technical audience. People who are non-technical should use these language models to create their own solutions and products and innovations. There's going to be less hiring, mark my words, there's going to be very less hiring for basic coding. Of course, you can use Python to generate these solutions and models. If you're doing coding, it's fantastic. But focus on core, mechanical engineering, try about engine design, and how you can create robotics, humanoids, all these things. And electrical semiconductors is going to be a major sector. Healthcare is going to be another sector, right? So you have to start thinking about, can I have a project in AI, irrespective of the discipline, and can I put it in so I can now, my resume can now be looked at as product, as a person who can innovate a product or solution. Do you guys understand? Do you guys get it? Right? Don't blame anybody else. Don't blame. You have only yourself to blame if you are not doing it. You should be pushing the limits. You should be pushing the boundaries of innovation from these institutions. Right? So look for, if you are third year or final year, we don't want to see any resume without AI solutions that is a part of the project. I hope you guys are already doing it. It is not how much lines of code you can write, because coding can be written by GitHub Copilot. Coding can be written flawlessly by all the copilots, right? All the codecs and AI tools. It can write to the extent to the top 10 percentile in the world. That means flawlessly it can write and execute. One of the topmost coder in the world, or top 10 percentile. That means 90% of the people, coders, will be behind. If the AI can write it, just need to prompt. Think about prompt engineering, right? But I don't want to get too much into that. But the fact is, there are international boundaries have been altered. Nationalist pride is everywhere, right? We talk about Make in India, America talks about America first. Right? There's no harm in it. Every country will have to protect its entrepreneurs, right? Every country will create those boundaries. In the bargain, what will happen? the global mobility will have some constraints. But Tamil ஒன்று சொல்லுவாங்க, everybody's asking me a question in terms of what will happen if this Trump guy does this and that. What? See, it all will even out. Everything eventually will even out. Right thing will happen. தமிழில் சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, பொறுத்தா பூமியாக அவ்வளோதான். But you have to be, நாங்கள் வந்து when the armed forces we tell that in peace you prepare for war, right Selvan? You always prepare for war in the peace. That is why we are well prepared, right? So if you see, don't get distracted yourself. My point here is, don't get distracted by what we call macroeconomic trends. Because we have smart people in India, we have smart people in US, we have smart people around the world. Eventually we'll figure it out. But one thing you want to understand is, job will go to a place where there is a right skill, right talent, at right cost. It's simple as that. If China is a manufacturing hub, India is a services hub. Now India is going to be an innovation hub, so it will go to the place where it is. The job will go to place. But the other thing you also want to think about is, I close with this, and probably we can take few questions, Amit and I. In your life, you are the hero and heroine, and very important statement I'm making, right? For your children, you are the hero, and they will look up to you like a hero and heroine, mom and dad. Women has to get more empowered to start companies. We need to see more women entrepreneurs. Again, you don't want to think somebody else is a hero, right, for your life. But you should have mentors, you should have guides, you should have benchmark. That's all. If we can be a benchmark, Amit and I, through our journey, I will be happy, and we can also be a good mentors. But remember, you have to run your life. Don't chase artificial things and try to get influenced by some cinematic thing. What you have to be more important thinking about is, this life is changing. Your parents have invested in you, but you should be getting ready to embrace this change, not fear it. But you should also be prepared, right? Institutions prepare global leaders, and I'm sure, ma'am, with your leadership and everyone around here, you're preparing a global leaders. I agree with Amit, and we will be more than happy to take few questions. Nothing but the last thing I want to tell, we from the bottom of my heart, and with Amit being there, from my brothers and my relatives here, we wish you guys nothing but the very best in life. Okay, all the very best. Good luck. Thank you. Should we take some questions if they have?
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us on a wide variety topic, be it for personal growth and about modern technology. Your words were truly inspiration to all of us. And now we are opening the floor for interactive Q&A session, a chance for all of us to dive deeper and interact with if any of you have any questions, please raise your hands. Our team will bring the mic to you.
We want you to be bold, right? And this is something that you have to start learning. And ma'am mentioned, we spend time coming here. It's not something that normally people want to do. We are here for you. Don't miss an opportunity to ask Amit and myself if it can add value to you, right?
Hi sir. So a few weeks back, I heard news about Alibaba making a big investment, about 10 billion for ASI. So since you guys are from Microsoft, I want to know how Microsoft is moving for the era of ASI, and I want to know how the big tech companies in the Silicon Valley is progressing it. And even if so, ASI has to be the next future of AI. How will that impact us?
So, good question. First of all, ASI is artificial super intelligence, right? So, where are we in terms of, important to understand, we are at a Gen AI, AGI, right? AGI is general intelligence, and then you graduate into, move into ASI, right? Just like quantum computing, these are researchers in play, right? You understand humanoids? Humanoids, you understand, right? So humanoids are nothing but robots that mimic us in terms of cognitive ability and structural ability. Meaning you have to be dexterous, your hand is the best thing you have. Those are the challenges. That will come into an AGI, general intelligence, and part of ASI. But is your question what Microsoft is doing, or what is our opinion about it?
So my question is, how are the big tech companies are progressing onto it, and if so it happens, how would we have to be reacting towards it, sir?
Right. Okay. So everybody is investing, starting with OpenAI, Microsoft, name any hyperscaler, Google, AWS. Everybody is investing in AGI, ASI. Correct. So that means there's an interest. There is a research, huge, big research is going on. But it is not a function that you can measure right now. Have we reached that ASI stage? Because ASI, we probably are close to AGI because of humanoids, right? It's coming out, general intelligence, because now you are thinking about cognitive one, you are having the vision, and then you are also creating a lot of ideas and thoughts. Agentic AI is one of the AGI foundation. ASI, from my perspective, and nobody has figured it out how long it will take, but we are not close to achieving ASI. That means a machine can think, program, and launch an economic warfare. You understand what I mean? Right? It can hack into a system, like, let's say India has an ASI, right? Super intelligence. Like, we are talking about this AGI itself, AI currently, generative AI, is currently itself is so good, like I mentioned about coding. It's coding at 10th percentile, right? So, top 10 percentile, in fact, of the codings. And AGI becomes a robot where you don't need a companion. So it will come, cook the meal, serve, it will help you, empathy. So all those human emotions are going to come in. And ASI is something that can automatically plan and launch. So is there a fear? As long as we have the control, and nobody has ever figured out how human mind really operates. Nobody has done that, right? So are we in control of ASI and AGI? Answer is absolutely yes. That is why you don't want these GPUs and infra to get into rogue actors' hand. Correct? So we don't want China to do that, right? We want to make sure that it is well ingrained in terms of ethical development and without any bias, right? So responsible AI is what we invest in, that we are accountable for. And as long as we have the control of these systems, ASI is, simple answer is ASI is likely to happen sometimes near future. But we are progressing towards that. That will be our official answer, right? Good question. Amit, do you want to add anything?
Thanks, great.
So good afternoon. So I am Dr. Sonu from Data Science Department. So actually I am using the Microsoft products like my Microsoft Power Query, Power BI for making data visualizations. And also I recently used Microsoft Azure for doing machine learning models. Recently I am getting updates from Microsoft related to Microsoft Fabric. So I just want to know more about Microsoft Fabric and how it is being used for data analysis and visualizations.
Okay, so it's a very good question. So first of all, this Microsoft Fabric is the upgraded version of Power BI Premium that has been moved to Microsoft Fabric. The objective to bring Fabric is for end-to-end advanced analytics of data. Right? Till the time we are using the Power BI, that's working as a dashboard, typically a static dashboard to show the current health of any organization. Almost that's, you can say, as a decision support system to take a decision, right? Now, at the same time, the data that is coming into the pipeline is important, because those data are now getting duplicate data, right? There are a lot of data across multiple data sources. For that you need a ETL, right? So again you have to set a ETL tool for it, and then you have to put the data to the Power BI. Now in Fabric, it's an end-to-end data management tool where Microsoft is the first hyperscaler who are offering this Fabric as a software as a service, SaaS model, right? Where starting from the data ingestion, then data quality, data pipeline, algo, and the final output is happening through Fabric only, right? Yeah.
So if you're using Microsoft Fabric, then so what is the use of Power Query? Will it be inbuilt in Fabric?
So yeah, Power BI Premium is now moved to Fabric. So you will have a complete dashboard, everything is there. But dashboard is the basic things, right? If I talk about as advanced analytics, then I'm talking about predictive intelligence as well. That means the use case would be where probably I can bring my experience like in taxation department, maybe GST or excise or any tax, commercial tax department. They can leverage Microsoft Fabric for revenue augmentation. What will be my 5 years revenue if I implement this policy, right? Or how to identify the fraudulent transactions, right, happening across the state, or whether which of the dealer are not paying the tax timely, correct? So all these fraud things can be captured, and at the same time, if the functionalities go in this way, then where this department will stand after 5 years? How much revenue they can have? It's the same example if I talk about agriculture. Then in agriculture, you can talk about more on a climate resilient agriculture or soil conservation, right? Or probably court recommendations based on the soil, correct? All these are possible when you have a data and data is ingested properly, data is unified properly, avoiding the duplicate data, and basis that you can create your algo, and then it will come the output as a dashboard where it is publishing the report on Fabric. So it's an end-to-end data management for advanced analytics.
One last question, sir. So whether the natural language processing is incorporated in the Fabric, because we mostly process only the structured data. So for the unstructured data,
it's a very good question. I got you where you are coming from. So inside that we have introduced OneDrive. It's a Microsoft Microsoft Lakehouse. It's a combination of both structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. So it is inside that Fabric itself. So where all type of data is coming from multiple sources, and then the output is coming on the dashboard.
so the Power BI we have a desktop version. So if you want to use Fabric, so is it a free version or we need to?
No, it's a paid version. It's a cloud-based.
Fine, sir.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
I'll just add one point. So one lake is the foundation where you store structured and unstructured data. Fabric, so Power BI is going to go in terms of license. That is why they're pushing the notification. Move to FSQ. From P is Power PSQ to FSQ. You will do that. Like Amit mentioned, one lake is you can store structured, unstructured images, all these things. But the real opportunity is end-to-end data analytics, including you can build agentic AI. So there is a component called AI Foundry in Fabric. So ETL, Amit talked about ETL from extraction, transformation, loading to storage of unstructured and structured data. Then you bring AI Foundry to run, create agents and models. So Power BI as a version will be retired. That is why you are getting the notification. So now using Power BI also has NLP, where you can, all the analytics you can do, you can ask natural language, NLP, based search and queries. What is my KPI, what is my reporting, you can do that, right? So you should use Fabric a lot, so it should be really good.
Thanks for the question. It's a very good question, yeah.
Hello, sir. I was wondering, what does and will the market crave for, whether a research engineer who is inventing transformers and algorithms, or a product engineer who is applying the AI algorithms to their products?
So again, are you a research engineer? Are you trying to do something? What's your name?
Hariram, sir.
Hariram. So Hare Ram or Hare Hare?
Hariram.
Hariram, okay. So what are you doing, Hari?
Sir, I'm currently incorporating the algorithms into my full stack programs.
Okay. So both are very crucial, and this is the value added opportunity I was talking about. So you're talking about research, right, and also building algorithm, right, so what will happen is, again, repeat your question. I just slipped my thought.
Alright. So, what does and will the market crave for, whether a research engineer or a product engineer?
Both. So that's what both are so important. Product engineer. So we build LLMs. We have an R&D team. We put billions of dollars in R&D. Very, very high paying job. So you're talking about the top of the cream now, right? Researchers are happening to build these SLMs, agentic framework. Product engineers, what they do, they use the foundation and framework to build product on top of it, right? Both are the most coveted skill sets industry is crying for, right? You put these two things in resume, I'm telling. So what you're building, you're researching and building a model, what we call SLMs, or a vertical specific model. Vertical meaning agriculture, like sir was talking about, supply chain, healthcare, some genetic research, cancer research, and all those things. You put it as models that can help this research, right? So agentic framework, like we have next gen, autogen, these are framework. Go and research that. Put those jargons in your resume. Again, very top-notch skill, very, very highly paid. I will tell you a number, I think Meta paid a 28-year-old, a 27-year-old engineer $1.2 million, right? This is what they are trying to pay. This is what, I don't know how much it is in terms of, I don't know if it's 1.2 million or 10 million, it's exactly crazy. 1 point is not 1.2, go into somebody can research and tell me what it is. But crazy amount of money, but whether India will encourage that same kind of thing, answer is yes, but you'll be in the top of the cream, both research. Using that, now you can generate, you can create a product, right? I really think with the ambition you have, you should continue to pursue that path, right?
And I have another question. How far behind are we in making quantum computing support AI and AI support quantum mechanics as well?
I'll take this one. So quantum is like ASI. What's your name, da? Sriram was asking about ASI. Quantum is in that stage. We have not, couple of channels asked me where are we in terms of quantum. So my answer is very, very simple. In AI itself, we are the tip of the iceberg, right? So quantum, you're talking about qubits, right? And then that is stateless. The challenge is quantum, if you have studied quantum, is it requires a sub-zero temperature, correct? So any temperature variation would make the information loss for qubits, right? So, but what we have, even in our phone, we have AI chips. It's highly commoditized. And AI, I'm talking, we are the tip of the iceberg. We are only talking about Gen AI, right? And reasoning model and agentic AI. Now we are going to talk about AGI. We are not even in multi-agentic scenario. Like whatever we are talking here, guys, is the top-notch conversation here, right? So AGI has to come. Like Hari was asking about, ASI has to come. And the quantum has to see, in technology adoption, you have a crossing the chasm. If anybody in MBA school, they will know, right? So you have innovators, you have early adopters, right? Then early majority, then you have a chasm, then you go to late majority, right? So in AI, in the product life cycle, we are at the innovators and early adopters. Only 10% of the companies in the world has implemented AI. So think about all these opportunities you guys will get, provided you are doing what you are telling. Okay? So that is the thing, you are on the right track. But quantum, qubits, whether we can commoditize the hardware, can we maintain in a sub-zero temperature? How many sub-zero temperature you can have to have a quantum computer? Can it come in your phone and put it in an ice box? No, right? That is a commoditization that we are talking about. So when that doesn't happen, the technology adoption will not happen. right? It can be good for cancer research, genetic engineering. It can live in universities. Kumaraguru can have a quantum computing, right? This institution can have a quantum computing lab, but it's a cryogenic system. Like you see, well, there's 2 chips on the bottom, but you'll have a big pipe of, the liquids and everything coming and cooling it. Like that will be like at the end of this room, the chips will be like palm of my hand. That is infrastructure. You understand, right?
Yes.
So don't worry about quantum. If you are interested, do that quantum stuff, but you have way too much to do in AI itself, right?
All right, sir. Thank you.
Good job. Yeah. Anyone from non-technical? I like it. I'll give the mic to that. Non-technical. I don't think we should be thinking engineering at all. So give the mic to that girl who's lifted up. How much time we have?
Hello, sir.
Ah.
My name is Advika, and here's my question. So, with current advancements in AI, and there's like a growing panic regarding the usage of responsible AI and sustainable AI. So, what practices or policies does Microsoft recommend using in order to practice more ethical and transparent AI?
See, definitely that's a very important subject, but ethics, ethical AI, and responsible AI that start from the standardization of data or the policies. I can bring my experience because I manage and discuss with day in day out with the government customers. It is very important for those domain where this unbiased outcome should be considered, right? So it is only possible when the data is unique and the data is learning from the standard process and the policies of that organization, right? That we call about ethics and the responsible AI. Microsoft investing heavily every year on data security, right? And data compliances, correct? Because whenever you spoke about the public data or this Aadhaar data, right? Or the DigiLocker, these are all the public data infrastructure, correct? And those data are assets for us, right? Where it follows certain policies, correct? So if your data model is properly trained, right, with proper algorithm, right, and with proper security, then output automatically be a unbiased, ethical, and responsible AI, right? It's a vast subject, but at this stage for you, you need to understand the policies and the standardization of that organization. Then only in practically you will be able to understand the ethics of it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
This is a little bit shy, but we probably can take shy group. You can be little bolder also in asking any challenging questions.
Good evening, sir. So I am a data science student. As AI continues to accelerate, but human cognitive is not much in acceleration because we take time to learn things. So the acceleration of AI and human cognitive development, how do you think it will affect the society and the direction of life?
I can challenge it, right? The human cognition, we take time to learn. That probably you need to put time to learn for sure. AI, if you understand AI, the amount of training we do, right? The amount of compute we do, and the amount of training with the data, then only it has become much better and better. I mentioned earlier, there is absolutely no barrier for human brain to learn. The only thing is how much time you're putting to learn. So I don't think AI can still match the human empathy, creativity, innovation, risk-taking, love, compassion, right? So I wouldn't agree with the thing that AI is exceeding human cognitive. Cognitive is everything, right? You see eyes, ears, speech and everything, how nicely we talk. We are training AI to talk in a wonderful way, right? But doesn't mean sometimes we have to be politically right? Sometimes we have to be biased. Sometimes the anger comes in. The AI can be trained not to get angry at all. Right? AI will continue to be nice. So there's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison of what human mind and brain can do. Right? You can think, you can be there, but you can scan the entire room. You can be situationally aware. You can, the love between mom and a kid. So you can't even compare with the AI right now, right? Whether we see those compassion, love, empathy, situational awareness and everything, I'm not sure. I wish that doesn't happen, but we have to wait and see. But as of now, you have to go back and rethink what a human being can do, right? With all the cognitive abilities we have, right?
Thank you, sir.
Just to add Cecil as well. So if I talk about the benefit of AI, so I have seen that mostly the standard things, right, which are all in books or which are in manual, where AI can really work well to automate those process or the manual task. But whenever any non-standard things comes up, like a customized thing, right, where you need a human intervention, presenting a customized solution or a kind of a empathy, right, where probably AI is not going to give you any support. But yes, to become more process efficient and automating the manual task, AI definitely can contribute over there. Thank you.
Quite a good question.
Perfect question.
We'll have one more question, and who's bold enough to ask the last one? Okay.
So, good evening, sir. So, I just wanted to ask you, from your experience and your viewpoint, what is the biggest disconnect from academic AI research and what the industry actually needs right now?
See, I can talk from what I see in North America and the gap we might have here. I don't know if it's really a gap or not. I was talking to ma'am that how well the cluster collaborates in developed nations, right? So what I mean by the cluster is, the private institutions funds the professors. Actually, they do that, right? In a big way. Then they award scholarship and bring the best of the brains to the US universities. And then they do the research, right? Every single solution has come from the universities. Every single product has come from the universities, right? And like, for example, Google from Stanford, correct? Microsoft, Bill Gates, when he was a thing in Harvard, and then same thing, Meta, everything, right? So how they can do that is because there is a industry and academia partnership, and that is how they branch out. You guys have to think about being an entrepreneur. You create the innovation in partnership with your mentors and professors, then you monetize it. So those IPs, the intellectual property, is like, say I have 5 patents already published, but you have to start thinking about how do you publish the patents. So now the patents can be monetized, right? So you're asking a very critical question that none of us even want to talk about in institutions, especially institutions that I studied and all those things in India back. It is something that you have to really move forward with that push. Can I create an IP? Can this group per se, third year or final year, can create or put into IP? So that becomes an academic research, which creates an intellectual property for industry to license, right? So there is a very tight thing. Think about, it's a little long-winded answer, but you guys will think about Elon Musk started PayPal, or whoever starts an entrepreneurial company, they get bought out by billions of dollars. He goes back and starts another set of companies, right? When you're an entrepreneur, either coming out of universities, you get blessed by the industry. Industry values innovation. You do internship, right? So there's no gap there. All the countries thrive because of this cluster, right? In India, there is a gap. Like, are we truly respecting the research our mentors and professors are doing? Are they publishing papers that is being promoted by the industry? Probably not. We do for tier 1 institutions, because I was in a collaborative panel that IIM Madras came to US last month, to establish collab MOU with US universities, right? So they are thinking far ahead, but then have and have nots gap is widening in tier 1 and tier 2, right? So but can we bridge it? People like you can bridge it. Go research it, come to the industry, publish an IP, right? You have to start taking lead on that. There is a gap, but there is also no gap in certain part of the world, right? Does that make sense? Okay, I like the thumbs up. Thank you.
Thanks.
Can we close with?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate. We both appreciate your time. Very valuable, and enjoyed talking to you all. Thank you. Hope you got some value out of it.
Thank you, everyone.
What an insightful and inspiring session. We had the privilege of listening to two of the most amazing individuals from Microsoft who shared their thoughts on the present and future of artificial intelligence and how it continues to shape our world. So your insights have been truly informative, and the Q&A sessions that we've had today was truly the best thing ever. And we've learned a lot today, and your presence today means so much to us, sir.
A special note of thanks to our President, Sri Shankar Vanavaraya sir, for always being a constant support to all our initiatives. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the management, Dr. Vijala Edwin Kennedy, Dr. Deepesh, for gracing this occasion with your presence. A special thanks to all the students for your active and enthusiastic participation. We hope today's session has sparked new ideas and curiosity in all of you to explore AI further for better future. With that, we officially conclude today's event. Thank you once again to our esteemed speakers, organizers and audience for making this event a grand success.